Before we get into today's video, I have a new channel member here on YouTube that I would like to thank. It is Logan Williamson with a Tier 1 membership. Logan, glad you enjoyed the videos enough to get yourself a membership here on YouTube. Really do appreciate that. And thank you to the rest of the names on this very, very full whiteboard. Incredible support of the channel, guys. I really do appreciate it very much. Now let's jump into today's video. Welcome back. So a race preview today of the final Triple Crown or the final Crown Jewel event of the year, right? A lot of people, it's up for debate which races are Crown Jewels, but the three that we know are for sure Crown Jewels: Knoxville, Kings Royal, and the National Open is the final one of the year to take place. Starting tomorrow night, they have a prelim night, which has nothing to do with the Saturday finale, but it still gives you a good idea as to who is going to be fast for the Saturday finale, which pays $75,000 to win and $2,500 to start. One thing to keep an eye on here for this weekend is so far this year, we've had two different drivers win their first ever Crown Jewel events, with Ryan Timms winning the Knoxville Nationals and Anthony Macri winning the Kings Royal. We have a very good opportunity to do something that I'm not sure has ever happened. If it has, I have no idea. But three guys to win their first Crown Jewel all in the same year. I can't think of a time when that's happened, at least in my time covering sprint car racing. If somebody knows, let us know in the comment section below. But that is definitely a very interesting thing to keep an eye on here if we do get another new Crown Jewel winner. And if we do, then I'm going to have to make a video about that and see if it's ever happened before. So I've got a lot of different things that have happened over the last couple of years here. We're looking at the last 5 years of the National Open. We'll go through all these numbers, and then I'll give you my three favorite guys going into the weekend. And let me know your three favorites in the comment section below as well at the end of the video. So up here, we'll look at the last 5 prelim night winners and, of course, the finale winners as well. Last year, it was Buddy Kofoid getting the prelim night win. He would go on to finish 18th on Saturday, and the finale was won by Carson Macedo. That was his second career National Open victory. 2023, the prelim night was won by Brad Sweet, and the finale winner was Brent Marks. Sweet would finish in the top 5 on the finale. And in 2022, it was a complete weekend sweep by Lance Dewease. He got the win on the prelim, and he also led the finale all the way through 40 laps. Lance Dewease dominated that weekend. That prelim night win was when he only led 10 laps of the feature and the rain came down, but he was still credited with the victory. 2021, the prelim night was won by Kyle Larson. He would go on to finish 8th in the finale, which was once again won by Carson Macedo. And in 2020, it was David Gravel with the prelim night win. He would finish 4th in the finale, while Donnie Schatz stood in victory lane for what I believe was his 5th, maybe his 6th or 4th, 5th, or 6th National Open. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's won it quite a few times. I was there for that one. It was an incredible victory lane when he was when everybody was yelling at him, and he was saying that the backstretchers were giving him some extra motivation. It was a pretty funny victory lane. Now, the top 5 finishers on the finale from the last 5 years, there is one name that pops up a lot in this. Well, there's a couple, but there's one in particular that pops up a lot in the top 5 finishers. 2024, Carson Macedo won. Sheldon Haudenschild was 2nd. Brad Sweet was 3rd. James McFadden was 4th. And Anthony Macri ended up in the top 5. 2023, Brent Marks was the winner. Darren Pittman was 2nd. Rico Abreu was 3rd. Sheldon Haudenschild was 4th. And Brad Sweet was 5th. 2022, Lance Dewease got the win. Brent Marks was 2nd. Anthony Macri 3rd. Spencer Baston 4th. And David Gravel in 5th. 2021, Carson Macedo the winner. Logan Schuchart 2nd. Sheldon Haudenschild 3rd. Anthony Macri 4th. And David Gravel 5th. And in 2020, it was Donnie Schatz with the win. Kyle Larson 2nd. Logan Schuchart 3rd. David Gravel 4th. And Sheldon Haudenschild in 5th. Can you guess which name I was talking about? Because after reading that off, there was quite a few. Gravel was in there a lot. Macri was in there a lot. Of course, Macedo was in there a lot. But the guy I am talking about is Sheldon Haudenschild. He has been in the top 5 of the National Open finale 4 of the last 5 years. 2nd, 4th, 3rd, and 5th for Sheldon Haudenschild. He is very good at Williams Grove Speedway, and you might see a little bit more of him here in this video by the end. But those are the top 5 finishers from the last couple of years of this event. The pole sitters of the National Open. It's a kind of a mix here. If you start on the pole, there's a good chance you can win. But if you also start on the pole, you could run as far back as 15th, as we've seen. 2024, Anthony Macri was on the pole, but he ended up 5th in the main event. 2023 and in 2022, the pole sitter year, won the race with Brent Marks and Lance Dewease. 2021, Marks was the pole sitter, but he ran 15th in the feature. And in 2020, David Gravel was the pole sitter. He ended up 4th in the main event. The hard chargers, usually at Williams Grove, the hard charger is coming from a provisional starting spot. Last year, Bill Baylog went 27th to 9th plus 18. 2023, the exact same thing, but it was Danny Dietrich plus 18 from 27th to 9th. 2022, it was Freddie Raymer plus 7, a 26th to 19th charge. 2021, it was Brad Sweet 19th to 10th for a plus 9. And in 2020, it was Lance Dewease plus 12 from 23rd up to the 11th position. Now, the lap leaders, very interesting here. Some of you may know that I'm not the biggest fan of the racing that actually happens on the track at Williams Grove Speedway, but it's hard to deny that the National Open has been pretty entertaining the last couple of years at the front of the field. There's definitely been more lap leaders than Knoxville Raceway at the Nationals. There's no doubt about that. Last year, Anthony Macri led laps 1 through 7, while Carson Macedo led laps 8 through 40, so one lead change. And then in 2023, probably the most entertaining feature of them all so far, Brent Marks led lap 1, Justin Peck led laps 2 through 11, Darren Pittman laps 12 through 22, and then Brent Marks laps 23 through 40. So 4 different lead changes and 3 different leaders there 2 years ago. 2022, Lance Dewease led all 40 laps. That's not very fun. 2021, there was 3 different leaders again. It was Brent Marks, laps 1 through 12, Logan Schuchart, 13 to 35, and Carson Macedo, 36 to 40. And in 2020, another 3-leader race with Schuchart leading laps 1 through 11, David Gravel, 12 to 21, and Donnie Schatz, 22 to 40. So that's pretty good. I mean, the last 5 years, there has been at least 3 different leaders in 3 of the main events, and only 1 of them has been led from start to finish. So hopefully we see that again. The National Open the last couple of years has been highly, highly entertaining, and hopefully we see that happen again. Now, down here, there has been a lot of different winners this year at Williams Grove. They've ran 15 races this season, and 11 different drivers have went to victory lane. That is pretty good. Freddie Raymer has won one race. Troy Wagaman has won. He's also the point leader there. Danny Dietrich has won 2 races. Anthony Macri has won 3 or 4 races. Lance Dewease has won. Brent Marks, the most recent winner. Brock Zierfoss got a win. Dylan Norris, Chad Trout, Cody Hartlob, and Cameron Smith. All of those drivers had visited victory lane at least one time this year during weekly action at the Williams Grove Speedway. Anthony Macri, he was the one and only World of Outlaws winner this year. The Outlaws usually have 4 races before they get to the National Open. They've only had 1 this year. So maybe the posse has a little bit of an advantage going into this weekend, as the Outlaws have only been to the Grove 1 time so far this season. Anthony Macri, though, we do not know if he's going to be there. Jeremy Elliott was kind of hinting at it maybe on his live show on Tuesday that Macri could show up on Saturday. And if he does, then I think he might be the favorite going in for the posse. But I'm not going to have him on my top 3 favorites because I don't know if he's going to be there for sure or not. But my top 3 favorites, one of them, you've heard his name a lot already in this video. I think it is time for Sheldon Haudenschild to get the National Open victory. 4 top 5 finishes in the last 5 years. He has been extremely good at this racetrack. He's had a couple of wins with the Outlaws, whether that was at the Summer Nationals or the Morgan Cup as well. I think Sheldon's trying to go out with a bang in the 17 car. One more big win, and I think it could be his. That would also add to that. The 3 new winners of Crown Jewel events this year. I've got Sheldon as one of my favorites. He's been too good at this race the last couple of seasons. And also, I'm going to put the feel-good story in there. I think Darren Pittman is one of the favorites going into this weekend as well. You see his name right there in 2023. He almost won the National Open, led about 10 laps of the feature 2 years ago, and he's been solid in the Kreitz 69K all season long. He's ran second in this event 7 times. I think this also could be the year for Darren Pittman to get the job done. And the final guy that I'm going to put in the favorite category is going to be Brent Marks. Coming off of that win last weekend. Last Friday night, he got a Williams Grove Speedway local show win. So a little momentum going on his side. He looks solid in that feature as well. He's led laps here. He's led laps here. He's been on the pole 2 times in the last 5 years. He's won the race here recently as well. So I really, really like Brent Marks going into this weekend. So Sheldon Haudenschild, Darren Pittman, and Brent Marks are my top 3 favorites going into this weekend. Let me know who your top 3 are in the comment section below. Hopefully you learned something in this video, and we will be covering both nights of the National Open here on the YouTube channel, giving you race recaps like we always do for the Crown Jewel events in sprint car racing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys again here tomorrow on the Rodman Rundown.